What's going on, YouTube? We're back today with another sports talk episode because I want to talk about the divisional rounds, which I actually thought were going to be more not as competitive as they were. They were very more competitive than what I thought they were going in the week. I had New England winning by like a couple touchdowns. I had Arizona winning by 2 touchdowns. I had Carolina, who was up by 31, but just choked in the second half. And then I did not think Ben Roethlisberger would be able to throw the football, which he actually could today. So that one I didn't know that much about. If Ben could play, I thought it would be a closer game, which it was. So we're going to start off with the Saturday games first. Kansas City versus New England. This game, going into it, Kansas City was on a 11-game win streak, I'm pretty sure. Just came off killing Houston, which Houston wasn't that great of a team. New England had the bye, coming off a bunch of injuries with Edelman and Gronk being out, and Brady not 100% during that last game of the regular season against the Dolphins because their offensive line is beat to hell. So going into that, did not think Kansas City would keep as close as they did with New England. It wasn't as close. I didn't watch the ending. I was watching at a bar, but then I went home. It was when New England went up by 14 later in the fourth quarter. It's like, okay, this game's probably over. Went home. I don't know how it ended, but the final score was 27-20. I feel like the Patriots. It's a close game. All the games this week were decided by 7 points or less. So it was a good game. The Chiefs kept it closer than I thought they would, which for them that was solid. But New England going in next week against Denver, that's going to be a tough matchup. They did lose against Denver earlier in the year. Gronk did get hurt in that game. I don't believe they had Edelman. The offensive line is still shit. So that game is a toss-up right now. I would give the slight edge right now probably to a old Peyton Manning because of injuries with New England's offensive line, and apparently their defense is a little banged up too after that Chiefs game. So you go edge Denver right now. Most likely in that game. I'll talk about that game later on. But let's get into this Arizona Green Bay. Didn't watch a lot of this game. I caught the ending where I got mad. You guys watched the video yesterday. I was complaining about. I was ranting about the refs because the refs couldn't flip a coin. They were not good when the game counted at the most. When the game was at its highest, most important time, the refs choked, and it hurt them. It hurt the whole game. It made the game just feel. But it's whatever. So Arizona wins on a Larry Fitzgerald. Had a hell of an overtime. He had that. Carson Palmer. I don't know how he didn't get sacked. Scrambled around for Carson. That's amazing because he's not a scramble quarterback at all. He's definitely not an Aaron Rodgers. And he scrambles around, finds Larry. Larry gets all the way down to 5. They do a shovel pass, get in there. But let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and those Hail Marys at the end of the game. 2 of them. Not 1, but 2 on a 4th and like 20 something from their own 5 or something like that. They chuck it up, and what was the guy's name that brought it down? What was his name? Jeff Janis? He had 2 touchdowns. He had 2 receptions the whole season. This game, he had 7 receptions for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. But also Randall Cobb, I heard he had some internal injury. They were kept in the hospital. He's apparently okay now. He was released today. But Jeff Janis came out of nowhere and made 2 great catches. My question is, where's Larry Fitzgerald on the defense? Why didn't you put your tallest receiver in the back of the end zone and make that not happen? It's like with the Detroit game earlier this year when they put Calvin out there. I don't know. But and why does the defensive end crash instead of going wide and containing Rodgers? Because you knew he was going to roll out. Everyone knew it. Everyone in the stadium knew it. People on TV knew it. People watching the game, calling the game, Everyone knew Rodgers wanted to roll out. Why do you let your defensive end, as a I don't know who crashed, but as a DN, the defensive coordinator should tell him, do not crash because we don't want Rodgers getting out of the pocket because we know what happens when he gets out of the pocket. Keep him in the pocket, keep him contained. You're blitzing the middle is screwed. So if you keep that containment, he would either get sacked, have a really tough time getting the ball to the end zone with no momentum. So that's my problem there with that Hail Mary as it looking at from the Cardinals. For the Green Bay, once again, they get lucky, but unfortunately, the coin toss doesn't go their way. There's a mess up there. I don't know what that ref was doing. Honestly, when you flip the coin and it doesn't flip, you should get to recall it, but they didn't, so it's whatever. But still, it was a closer game than I thought. It was the closest game points wise of the divisional round. 26-20, Cardinals get the W, and they go on to play Carolina in Carolina Sunday at 6:30. And let's talk about that game. I watched the first half of this game, the whole first half. Carolina was just killing Seattle. Seattle couldn't do anything. They did not know what. They got down there once, decided not to kick the field goal, go for it. After that, I was like, okay, this game's over. Then they get the ball back, go down, and miss a field goal right before halftime. So right before halftime, they could have gotten a field goal, decided to go for it, don't get it. Then they miss a field goal right as halftime, as the half ran out. So Seattle could add a couple more points. They left a lot of points out there. They left 6. That's 6 right there. So that makes it a 30-31 game. You go for 2, you make it a 31-31 game. So leave some points out there. Carolina. This is the problem I have with Carolina. They just took the whole offense, defense. They just took the second half off. Just stop playing. Cam Newton was 16 for 22 for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. All coming pretty much in the first half. I didn't watch much of the second half because I thought the game was over. I would think, okay, Carolina's going to come out, do what they did in the first half, and win this game, no problem. I was wrong. Carolina came out and just played flat. They were like, okay, we got the win. We're not worrying about it anymore. We're going to get this win. I don't know what they were doing. As a coach, how you let that happen doesn't make sense. But Seattle made a great comeback. Almost had a chance to win it. They recovered the onside kick. They needed a touchdown to tie it. So not as lucky as they were against the Packers, but they had a much tougher hill to climb this year. Down 31-0 at halftime. No one expected them to make a comeback like they did. Gotta give it up to them. They came back for a tough game, but they are out of the playoffs. Finally, the Seahawks are not going to be in the Super Bowl. Thank God. Russell Wilson had those 2 crucial interceptions in the first half. He had a pick 6, Luke Kuechly. Then Cortland Finnegan had that pick in the first half. So that's game-changing right there, too. But after that, coming out of halftime, he played well. Just too many mistakes in the first half, team-wide. And Marshawn Lynch. This is the thing, I was watching Marshawn. He had 6 carries for 20 yards. He did not look like Marshawn Lynch out there. They could not run the ball. As usual, they ran. The running attack was with Russell Wilson. What do you expect? When Marshawn Lynch just still didn't look 100% out there. And let's move on to the final game. The game that I had no idea what was going to happen if Ben Roethlisberger was going to be healthy. If Peyton Manning was going to look well. Peyton Manning didn't play a bad game. Did not play a bad game. Receivers dropped some balls. Ben Roethlisberger looked like he could throw the ball. His receivers didn't look like they could catch the ball. Don't have Antonio Brown. Don't have D'Angelo Williams. Don't have Le'Veon Bell. It's going to be a tough matchup. Tough game when you don't have your top receiver and your top 2 running backs. Bell's been gone for most of the season. D'Angelo Williams the last couple of weeks has been injured because of, I think, the Bengals player did something. No, it wasn't the Bengals. Who hurt him? It was the Cleveland game. No, it was Cleveland that hurt him, I'm pretty sure, in week 17. So he gets hurt. Can't go this game. Didn't go last week. Couldn't go this week. Antonio Brown had a concussion because of the Burfict or whatever his name is. Hit him right in the head. He couldn't go, so top receiver down, top running back down. Uphill battle. Ben Roethlisberger on a half an arm. Played well. He went 24 for 37 for 339 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Not a great day, but with not your whole arm being there, your whole shoulder being there, with ligaments damaged, he played well. And he's only the only quarterback to put up 300-plus yards on this Denver defense. Did twice this season. Not one, but two. Once in Denver, once in Pittsburgh, which was in the regular season. I think November, maybe it was early December. I don't know, but I watched it. I saw it happen. It was a good game. Pittsburgh came back, got the win that they really needed. When everyone was talking about, if they get in the playoffs, they're going to do some damage. Well, unfortunately, injuries have killed Pittsburgh this whole season. I've had Antonio Brown and Roethlisberger on my fantasy team, and Le'Veon Bell on my fantasy team, and D'Angelo Williams on my fantasy team. And because of injuries, it sucked for me. So they had injuries throughout this whole season. It's unfortunate for them. It happens. It's football. It's a contact sport. So it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, Pittsburgh played really well, and they really had a chance to win till a man named Fitzgerald Toussaint decided to fumble the damn ball for doing too much. He could have just did not need a cut. He decided to cut. He leaves the ball up. He just carry it to your chest. Where's my football? See the football? Carry it to your chest, son. Carry it to your chest. Use two hands if you need to. Don't be out here dangling out here so someone can just punch the football out of your hands. But he decides, no, I'm just going to dangle it out here, get it punched out by, was it Roby that punched it out? And DeMarcus Ware recovered, something like that happened and went back and gave Denver a great chance. And then Denver gets the ball, drives down. William Gay had a chance to pick it off. If he goes out with his hands, instead of using his body to catch the ball, go out with your hands, grasps the ball, catches it. It's like Madden. Gets hands on balls, but he doesn't go out there and catch them with his hands. He lets it come into his body. Got to go out and get the ball, snatch it, make a play. He drops it. Missed tackles. Pittsburgh ends up losing the game by 7 because missed tackles and there's some coaching. I don't know. I didn't like the timeout they used right before the 2-minute warning. They had that timeout. You could do some more, but at the end of the day, it's going to be an uphill battle after that fumble and then coming out after the 2-minute warning, not converting that first down twice. I don't know why you don't do more underneath routes like some 2 rub routes or something to get off the defenders on man-to-man. They play man-to-man coverage, so get some rub routes, get open, do a screen, something like that. But instead, they get pressure on Ben twice. He can't make the pass. That last one he had, it looked like he passed it backwards, but they blew it dead. So at the end of the day, Pittsburgh they had Antonio Brown. Probably would have won the game. If they had D'Angelo Williams and Antonio Brown, I could definitely say they would win the game. Because of injuries, they're out of the playoff. Denver moves on. And honestly, Denver beat the Pats once in Denver this year, so I like Denver's chances. So we're going to get into that. Denver versus New England next week. Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady once again. We all know what happened. They've met 4 times before in the playoffs, something like that. I think it's 2-on-2 or something. I don't know, it might be more than that. Maybe it was 2-on-2 in the conference. I read something like that. I don't remember what it was. But 2 really good quarterbacks going up against each other. Both Hall of Famers. One probably in his last year. Another probably looks like he's got 5 more years in him if he keeps a good offensive line. But I'm edge passing Tom Brady. Defense, Denver. Rushing attack, Denver. Special teams, that's a toss-up. They both have good kickers. I like Calstein, I like McManus. They both have good kickers. So, Edelman, return team. I don't know who's the returner for the Pats, so for the Broncos, so I'll go Pats for special teams. Offense, probably gonna be the Patriots, but they're going up against a tougher defense. So I'll say that Denver would have the edge on offense because the Patriots don't have as good of a defense and have injuries there. So that's what gives the edge to me for Denver to win this game over the Patriots. But will Peyton Manning can he go back-to-back weeks? We haven't seen him go back-to-back weeks. So we don't know. We'll find out. Once again, old age comes in, nerve damage, all that stuff comes in. We'll see. But honestly, I like Denver's chances against New England right now. But can he cover Gronk and will Gronk and Edelman be on a pitch count again? Will they be 100%? If they get hit, in the lower leg, will they be out? Don't know. If there's no injuries, I'm going to still go Denver out of that game. The next game will be Carolina and Arizona. Arizona travels to the East Coast to Charlotte to play Carolina at 6:30 on Fox. This could be, I think, a high-scoring game. I like Carolina's offense, but I also like Arizona. If Arizona plays like they did against Green Bay, they will get destroyed. But if Carolina plays like they did in the second half, they will get destroyed. Depends what team comes out. Arizona, I like their offense and I like their defense. Carolina, I like their offense and I like their defense. So at the end of the day, you have a number 1 draft pick against a number 1 draft pick. Carson Palmer against Cam Newton. Running backs, edge to Carolina. Wide receivers, big edge to Arizona. Tight ends, edge to Carolina. Defense, if they had Matthew and the Honey Badger, I would probably say Arizona. I love their secondary. I'm still thinking Arizona because Carolina has too many injuries. They have 2 corners down, and Finnegan was getting burnt by Baldwin. If you gotta go against John Brown and Floyd and Fitz, good luck with those 3 receivers because Seattle only has Baldwin, and Baldwin. Baldwin's their best guy. I like Baldwin. He's a really good receiver. But Arizona, more weapons than Seattle has. I like Arizona's chances in this game. Solely like their defense. So I'm going to pick Arizona to go into Carolina, get the win, and I'm hoping Arizona wins the Super Bowl. I like Arizona, but I like Carolina too. I do like Cam Newton. Not mad if either team win. I'd like to see, personally, I don't really care, but personally on AFC side of it, I'd like to see Denver win. Patriots, you guys need to go home. Go home. Stay home. Go back to New England. Tired of you guys being in the Super Bowl. I'd like to see Denver. Either way, I hope the NFC wins it. Either Arizona or Carolina. That's all I'm going to say about it, and that's all I'm going to talk about today. This has been a long-ass 18-plus minute video, so I'm going to end it at that. I'm going to pick Denver and Arizona. Those are my picks. Denver and Arizona. I don't know the spreads or anything like that. I'm not going to worry about the spreads right now. Denver, Arizona. I'm sure Carolina's favored. I'm sure Denver's probably favored because they already won. So Denver, Arizona, those are the picks. Those are my locks of the week. And I'll probably be back next week to talk the conference championship where we only got 2 games to talk about. That'll be much shorter of an episode. And that's going to be it for this sports talk for this week. I'm going to be out till next time. As always, do work.